My girlfriend said, "You're not on the lease, so technically, this apartment is mine." I smiled. "You're absolutely right." Then I called the bank and froze the account that paid her rent, because it was mine. When the landlord came knocking for payment, her independent woman's speech ended real quick. "My name is Marcus. I'm 31, work in IT infrastructure, and until 3 weeks ago, I thought I had my life figured out. I was dating Vanessa for 2 years. She was 29, worked part-time at a boutique marketing agency, and had this way of making everything feel like an adventure. We moved in together after about 8 months. Or rather, she moved into the apartment I found, furnished, and paid the security deposit for. Here's the thing nobody tells you about modern relationships. The person who controls the money doesn't always control the power. I learned that lesson the hard way. Vanessa never officially moved in. That was her idea. "Let's keep things flexible," she said back then, stirring her oat milk latte at some overpriced cafe in downtown. "I don't want to feel trapped, you know? Let's not put me on the lease yet. We can always add me later when we're sure." I thought it was endearing, independent, mature. I was an idiot. So I signed the lease alone. I paid the first month last month and security deposit, $8,400 total. I bought the couch, the bed, the dishes, the TV. I set up the utilities in my name. I even got the internet plan upgraded because she needed faster speeds for her content creation side hustle that never actually made money. And every month, like clockwork, I paid the rent, $2,100, directly from my checking account to the landlord's portal. Vanessa contributed, let's call it occasionally. She'd Venmo me $200 here, $300 there, always with a cute message like, "For groceries, babe," or "Sorry I'm short this month, next paycheck I promise." I never kept track. I thought that's what you did when you loved someone. You didn't nickel and dime. 3 weeks ago, everything changed. I came home early on a Wednesday. My project deployment finished ahead of schedule, so I grabbed Thai food and headed back around 6 p.m. instead of my usual 9 p.m. I walked into the apartment and heard Vanessa on the phone in the bedroom. The door was cracked open. "I don't know why you're so worried about it, Mom. It's my apartment. He's just staying here." I froze in the hallway, takeout bag in hand. Her mom's voice was loud enough to hear through the phone speaker. "But sweetie, if things go bad, can he legally claim anything?" "No, Mom. He's not on the lease." I checked. Technically, I'm the tenant because I live here, and he's more like a guest who helps out. My lawyer friend confirmed it. My heart started pounding. "So, if I wanted him gone," Vanessa continued, "I could just tell him to leave. The apartment is mine. He has no legal standing." I very carefully set the food down on the hallway floor. I pulled out my phone and started recording. Her mom laughed. "You're so smart, baby. Not like your sister who put her boyfriend on everything and then couldn't get him out when he cheated." Exactly. I learned from Sarah's mistakes. This way I have all the power. I stopped recording. I stood there for maybe 2 minutes, just breathing, trying to process what I'd heard. Then I walked backwards to the front door, opened it loudly, and called out, "Babe! I'm home!" By the time I got to the bedroom, she was off the phone, smiling, asking about my day. We ate the Thai food together. We watched Netflix. She fell asleep with her head on my shoulder, and I started planning. Update 1. The next morning, I called out sick from work. After Vanessa left for her 11 a.m. shift, I spent 4 hours documenting everything. I photographed the lease, my name only. I pulled up 2 years of bank statements showing every rent payment, every utility payment, every piece of furniture I'd bought. I had receipts for the security deposit, the couch from West Elm, the mattress from Casper, even the stupid throw pillows she insisted we needed. Then I called my buddy Derek, who's a paralegal. I played him the recording. "Dude," he said after a long silence, "that's cold-blooded. What are my options? Legally? You're the leaseholder. She's not a tenant, she's your guest. You could ask her to leave any time, but if you want to make a point, I want to make a point. Then you need to be smart about it. Don't do anything crazy. Just control what you actually control. That night, Vanessa and I had dinner. Pasta. She told me about some drama at work. I nodded and smiled and asked follow-up questions. Then, casually, I said, "Hey, random question. Do you remember what you told your mom yesterday? About the apartment being yours?" Her face went completely blank for like 3 seconds. Then she laughed, this forced little sound. "What? When did I say that?" "Yesterday. You were on the phone. I came home early." The color drained from her face. "Marcus, I didn't mean it like that. I was just trying to calm my mom down. She's paranoid about men taking advantage of women after what happened with my sister." "Right. So you told her the apartment was yours, that I'm basically a guest, and that you could kick me out whenever you want." "I was exaggerating. You know how my mom gets. I had to make it sound like I had control of the situation or she'd never stop worrying." I took a bite of pasta, chewed slowly. "So, you don't actually think this is your apartment?" She reached across the table for my hand. "Of course not, babe. We share everything. It's ours." I pulled my hand back. "Except you're not on the lease." "We can fix that. We've been talking about adding me anyway, right? Let's do it this weekend." "Yeah," I said. "Let's do that." I didn't bring it up again that night, but I didn't touch her either. I slept on my side of the bed, back turned, and listened to her breathing get more and more shallow until she finally fell asleep around 2 a.m. Update 2. Friday afternoon, I told Vanessa I needed to work late. Instead, I went to the bank. I had opened a separate checking account about 6 months ago for savings goals. Vanessa knew about it, but she didn't have access to it. What she didn't know was that I'd been slowly moving money into it. Not huge amounts, just $500 here, $700 there. Enough that my main account still looked normal. I moved $15,000 from my main account into the separate account. Then I set up automatic payment for my rent to come from the new account. Then, and this is the part I'd been planning all week, I called the bank and placed a temporary freeze on my original checking account, the one linked to our shared expenses. The freeze meant no automatic payments could go through. No utility bills, no Netflix, no Spotify, and most importantly, no rent payment to the landlord. Rent was due the following Tuesday. That weekend, Vanessa acted like nothing had happened. She suggested we go to brunch. She wanted to check out a new vintage market. She talked about maybe taking a trip to Portland next month. I went along with everything, smiling, nodding, already knowing what was coming. Monday night, she brought it up again. "So, should we go talk to the landlord about adding me to the lease? I really think it would be good for us, like an official step forward." I looked up from my laptop. "Actually, I've been thinking about that." "Yeah?" "You were right the first time. You're not on the lease, so technically, this apartment is mine." Her smile faltered. "What?" "You said it yourself. I have no legal standing to claim it's ours, so why should I pretend it is?" "Marcus, that was taken out of context. You know what else you were right about? If someone's not on a lease, they're basically just a guest, and guests can be asked to leave." She stood up from the couch, face red. "Are you seriously threatening to kick me out over something my mother made me say?" "Nobody made you say anything, Vanessa. You said you had all the power. You said you checked with a lawyer friend. That doesn't sound like someone placating their paranoid mother. That sounds like someone with a plan. You're being insane right now. Maybe, but I'm the insane person whose name is on the lease." She grabbed her purse and left, slammed the door so hard the frame shook. She didn't come back until after midnight, and when she did, she slept in the guest room. Update 3. Tuesday morning, I got the email I'd been waiting for. The landlord's automated system. Payment failed. Rent overdue. Late fee will be applied after 5 p.m. I deleted the email and went to work. Vanessa texted me around 11 a.m. Did you pay rent? Landlord just called me asking where it is. I didn't respond until lunch. My account had an issue. I'll handle it. What kind of issue? Bank stuff. Don't worry about it. Marcus, we're going to get a late fee. I'll handle it. She called me twice. I let it go to voicemail. By 3 p.m., she was panicking. Please tell me you paid it. Mr. Chen just left a note on the door saying if we don't pay by end of day, he's starting eviction proceedings. I called her. Marcus, what the hell is going on? I told you. My account has an issue. What issue? Can't you transfer money? Use a credit card? We can't get evicted. We can't get evicted? Vanessa, you're not on the lease, remember? If anyone's getting evicted, it's me. Silence. You're doing this on purpose. I'm doing what on purpose? Having a bank issue? You froze the account, didn't you? I didn't answer. Oh my God, you're punishing me over one stupid conversation. You're absolutely right, I said calmly. This apartment is technically yours. So technically you should be able to handle the rent payment. You've been living here 2 years after all. Surely you have some money saved up. You know I don't have $2,100 just sitting around? That's weird, because I've been paying $2,100 every single month for 2 years. That's $50,400, plus utilities, furniture, food, entertainment. But somehow you, the person who claimed this apartment as yours, don't have a single month's rent saved up? She was crying now. Marcus, please. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean what I said. I'll never say anything like that again. Please, just pay the rent. Why? It's your apartment, isn't it? You told your mom you have all the power. I was wrong. I was being stupid and arrogant, and I'm sorry. Please. Tell you what, I said. I'll unfreeze the account and pay the rent. But you need to be out of the apartment by Friday. What? You have 4 days. Pack your stuff. Find somewhere else to stay. I'll pay this month's rent so neither of us gets evicted. But after that, you're done living here. You can't do this. Sure I can. I'm the leaseholder. You're just a guest who overstayed her welcome. She hung up on me. Final update. I unfroze the account an hour later and paid the rent. Mr. Chen sent me a confirmation email with a snippy note about professionalism and timely payments. I didn't care. Vanessa came home that night with her mom. They both started yelling at me the second they walked in. Her mom called me controlling, abusive, a manipulator. I let them yell. Then I very calmly said, everything in this apartment belongs to me. I have receipts. Vanessa is not on the lease. She's not on any utility bill. She has no legal claim to anything here. She can leave voluntarily, or I can start the formal eviction process for an unauthorized occupant. Her mom's face went purple, but Vanessa knew I was right. She started crying again, and her mom eventually dragged her back out to the car. Over the next 3 days, Vanessa came back in shifts with friends to pack her stuff. I stayed in the guest room with the door locked. I didn't help. I didn't interfere. I just let her take what was actually hers, which wasn't much. She left the keys on the kitchen counter Thursday night. It's been 2 weeks now. I heard through mutual friends that she's staying with her mom. She's been posting on social media about toxic men and financial abuse. A few people reached out to me asking for my side. I sent them the recording of her phone call with her mother. I haven't heard from those people again. The apartment feels empty. I'm not going to lie, it sucks coming home to silence. But every time I start feeling guilty, I remember her voice on that call. This way I have all the power. She wanted power. She got a lesson about who actually had it. Edit 1. People keep asking if I feel bad. Honestly? Some days, yes. But then I remember she was planning an exit strategy from the beginning. She kept me off guard, kept me paying for everything, kept me thinking we were building something together while she made sure she could cut me loose whenever she wanted. I just did it first. Edit 2. For everyone saying I should have just communicated. I tried that the night I confronted her. She lied to my face, said she didn't mean it, said it was taken out of context, then tried to get added to the lease so she could make her lie a reality. You don't reward that kind of manipulation with patience. Edit 3. Someone asked what I'd do differently. Honestly, I'd have insisted on splitting the lease from day one. I'd have kept track of every expense. I'd have protected myself legally from the start. Love doesn't mean being stupid with your resources. I learned that the expensive way,